Hello, it's great to see you back. I hope you enjoyed the lunch where we had vegan lahmacun from Vegan Masa, black mulberry sherbet from Tarla Burada, and the bananas were from Pari Organic. Our next session will be with the representative director of Good Money Lab. I'm thrilled to present to you Makoto Nishibe.
Hello, everyone. I'm Makoto Nishibe. I'm coming from Japan. I took a plane from Tokyo to Istanbul. It took me 16 hours, and I stopped over Dubai for 4 hours, so it took me 20 hours altogether. So makes me a little bit jet sick, but I'm recovered. So, okay. Yeah, today I would like to talk about local money, local currency, but I want to provide the big vision of community currency. What is community currency and what is possible to the change in the society and economy. So I would like to talk about the future vision of the community currency too. I think it's related to prosumer economy. And that's why, my talk is going to be a little bit abstract because might be a little bit theoretical, but please pardon me. I'm just afraid, the time ran out. So I just want to start. I'm a university researcher over evolutionary economics. Economics is very much unfamiliar here and unpopular here. And everybody, I think, hate the economics just because economists talk about quantity. Economists talk about maximization of profit and utility and so on. And we are rational man, economic man. But in reality, we are not so. We are not so. So I have been criticizing the conventional economics, especially neoclassical economics, which assume two assumptions, maximization, rationality, and equilibrium. So my economic framework is different from conventional one. That's evolutionary economics. So I would like to talk about evolutionary economics a little bit to explain everything. Okay, let me first touch on the modern money and the money in general. Yes, my major is economic theory, evolutionary economics, but my focus is on the money. Why money? The money is very important. Everybody knows. If you don't have money, you can't live on only a day. And you care about, how you get, how you earn, and how you save the money. And then, otherwise, you cannot live by yourself, and you cannot afford your family and so on. But everything concerning the money is quantitative something, right? Quantity. But I would like to talk about the quality of money. So if I say the quality of money, so what is it? Everybody asks me. So I would like to talk the quality, especially what is good quality, what is bad quality. So I want to start with modern money. There are two two major monetary institutions. The one is one country, one currency system. This is obvious. One country has one money. Japan has yen. The US has US dollars. And Turkey has Turkey lira. But there is exception for European countries. They are now, euros. So the euro has one, united countries, one currency system. Okay. So the central bank of each nation state monopolizes the issue of currency. This kind of national monopoly of money is since Peel Banking Act of 1844 in England. So it's 280 years old. The second one is a floating exchange rate system. And the fixed rate system under the gold standard before the World War II, and the dollar system after the World War II. So it's fixed. One ounce of gold is equal to the $35, and $1 is equal to 360 yen, and so on. But the floating rate system started in 1973 after the dollar shock in 1971. Nixon declares the suspension of gold dollars convertibility, just because they have no more enough, gold reserve because of, euro dollars, and they spent a lot of money to the, Vietnam War and something. So they stopped it, and so it is 50 years old. So the exchange rate of between the two countries' money is always changing, time to time. Not time to time, it's always changing. So the exchange rate, is determined without any link to the real entity, and it is often very volatile. So since 1990s, FX market has been a global speculative market in which the general public also joined in. And we experienced the Asian currency crisis in 1997, big sovereign crisis in 1910, and Turkish monetary crisis as well in 2018. And I think it still go on. Yes? So you have a very high inflation rate, more than 100. So it might be called hyperinflation already. So this kind of thing is caused by these two major institutions, I suppose. Then the fundamental problem is, what is a modern legal tender? This is a very difficult, but I think we have to answer to these questions. Otherwise, we cannot understand anything. We don't know nothing. We know nothing. My answer is here. Modern legal tender is ideational. Just like a naked emperor walking and marching, and everybody say he is naked. And it's go on and go on. It's self-sustained only by the people's ideas. Incompatible central bank notes, CBNs, liability or asset. Yes, it is on the one side, it's liability. They are debt instrument for the central bank because cash insurance is recorded on the liability side of its balance sheet, while gold, silver, government bonds, corporate bonds, REIT, ETF are recorded on the asset side of the BS of the central banks. On the other hand, yes, it is asset. They are assets for the government and private agents, private banks, companies, and individuals. And since they are incompatible banknote, there is no obligation to redeem them in gold or gold coin. And they are de facto asset for the central banks. It creates, actually a lot of profit for the central bank. It is profit of the issue. The central bank notes are self-sustained by people's idea that are, on the one side, convention from the past, and on the other hand, expectation to the future. So there are two factors. you know, if you receive a Turkish dollar, maybe 100 Turkish note, and then you use it to the market, okay, you could use it. So you think, next time I receive the banknote, I can use it. So this is a kind of a convention from the past to the present and present to the future. But the other one is expectation. If I take this note, I doubt if this is okay. But if I, give it back, give it to somebody who can receive it, so I'm going to be okay. This might be a joker, but I can, if I, give it to somebody, so I'm going to be okay. So this is going to be an expectation. So this involved some kind of, expectation goes and goes and goes and to the infinite futures. And then if in the infinite future, if you think it's okay, and you come back to the present, and if you think it's okay, you accept. Otherwise, you cannot. So actually, if you are not a God, you cannot really expect an infinite future. So, you might be more, emotional, pessimistic, or, optimistic. If you're optimistic, you can take it. You're pessimistic, you cannot. So I think all of you here, from Turkey, so you might have that kind of feelings, you see. If I take this, this is going to be devaluated, caused by the inflation. It's going to be okay. So you are now a little bit pessimistic about the future, right? So these facts can affect the circulation of the money. So I say, okay, convention, from the convention, maybe 90% of the people accept the legal tender from the convention. If I take it yesterday and I can use it, I could use it, so I can use it today. And maybe 10% or less than the 10% people are thinking of the expectation to the future, but most of them are optimistic. So I say, because of two factors, the legal tender become stable, even though, if you have a very severe inflation. But if you have more than that, maybe 500 inflations, nobody takes the banknote because it devaluated too soon. Okay, so the reason why I talk about this kind of mechanism, I suppose this also apply to other legal tenders in European countries and in the US and in Japan too. Even in Japan, the Bank of Japan provide too many money for the last decade. So they call it QE or QQE, qualitative easing or qualitative and quantitative easing. And we have the minus interest rate. The interest rate here is very high, right? More than 10%, right? But Japan is, we have only 0.25%, and it used to be the minus. And so this kind of interest system is a little bit odd. If you say this is capitalistic, if you borrow the money, your money would be bigger. So this is, odd, but this happens actually in Japan, and it used to happen in Europe. So I talk about the modern money, And this also true of the community currency and other currencies, cryptocurrencies, and so on. So I think this is the same property of the modern money. Okay, now money and language are two major media of mankind. Yes, money and language are distinctive characteristic Homo sapiens, different from the other anthropoids. The money involved as a set of standard derivative, gold and gold coin and banknote, convertible and inconvertible banknote, legal tender and electric money. Now, the modern money has become private and social. This is going to be like higher denationalization of money and concurrent currencies. Diverse, multiple, and multi-layers monies create monetary institutional ecosystem. This is my jargon. Actually, I put the monetary system. Monetary institutional ecosystem. If we have a diverse, multiple, and multi-layered monies, so I think the situation at present is something like this. The modern money has become electronic and cashless. Non-material informations makes it easy to innovate money. That's why we have many innovations of money, such as cryptocurrencies, CBDC, digital community currency, and stable coin, and so on, as a fusion of cryptocurrency. Digital community currency is a fusion, I think, of a cryptocurrency and community currency. So we need to search and select good money in monetary institutional ecosystems. CCs are regarded integrative communication media. It's a hybrid form of money and language. That's why I talk about money and language. I explain later. And also, it is a budding form of a vector money. I will also explain a little bit about it. So conventional money is one-dimensional, scalar money. That's why money is just a quantity. $1, $2, $3, $100, $10, $1 million. Everything is a number on the straight line. That's only expressed quantity. But I see the future money is multidimensional vector money. Yeah, this is a kind of imagination. So I might be a little bit utopian, but this can express the quality of social, cultural, natural diversity and complexity. Okay. This is an evolutionary tree of money. I put it on my article paper, academic paper, and my book, Japanese book, and yes, English book too. But I don't explain in detail, but the point is, we used to have two kinds of money, material money and credit money, but in the capitalistic market economy, we have one central bank notes, legal tender, and then now we have a cash currency and a deposit currency in the private bank. So we have now the two kinds of money, but the core of the monetary system is central bank notes. So that is, I said, ideational or symbolic. Then we have lots of money. All are mostly ideational or symbolic. Doesn't have any link to the real entity, gold and silvers, or the wheat or corn or rice. So just because we use it, just because we can think it's okay, so it's accurate. So it depends on our idea. So if I say on the converse, if I change our ideas, we can change our money. That's what I wanted to say. This is a diversity of money money and exchange. According to the historical researcher on the history of money, Mr. Croda, we have 4 quadrants of money for exchange. So just like on the previous page, we have 2, monetary money and credit money. But here, the same. On the horizontal line, the right side, anonymous, left side, nominal. I don't know, nobody. I don't know him. I would have exchange. So anonymous. Nominal, I know him. And on the vertical line, we have a local transaction, and if we have a regional transaction. So we have 4 quadrants, the 1, 2, 3, 4. On the right-hand side, gold, silver coin. On the upper side for inter-regional. And local, the basic metal coin, copper, tin. And on the left side, if you know somebody, so if you're a merchant to inter-regional trade of, say, herb or pepper, so you're going to take the bill of exchange. And in the local shoppers, if you buy something, they might sell it by bookkeeping and so on. So we have 2 kinds. Okay, so I've just glanced at modern money and the history of money. Now I'm going to explain a little bit about the 2 basic concepts of evolutionary economics. Actually, this is very similar to the complexity paradigm, which was explained before. Okay, but anyway, we have 2 concepts. One is replicators. Replicator is if-then rule. This is rule. So if it rains or it is raining, so I bring my umbrella. So if I woke up, I wash my face and so on. So our recognition, our behavior, and our decision is all written as an if-then rule. Otherwise, it might be imperative, just like God's order, I have to be honest, or I have to be just, and so on. So that kind of rule also included here. Okay, we have 2 kinds of rule. One is external rule, another one is internal rules. The external rules is, external to us, but to the society, it's internal. For example, laws, conventions, shares ethical norm and value. So shares ethical norm and value is not the laws. It doesn't indicate any punishment and so on. But it's social, it might have the social punishment. So those kind of moral and ethical norms are included. On the other hand, we have internal rules. I say in the game theory was the external rules are game rules, and the internal rules are game strategies. So you can choose the game strategy, but you cannot choose the game rules. Game rules are given. So cognitive framework, psychological biases, behavior routines, and of course, maximization of rational behavior, maximization of profit, maximization of utility is also included in internal rules. And so replicators, is depicted as a kind of a gene, social gene. So we borrow from the biology. Biological gene is a DNA, but socio-economical gene is, I think, replicated as rule. Another one is an interpreter. It's a vehicle of a replicator. It's a human, individual, organization, and robots, a program and the AI, and that perceive, decide, and act according to replicator rules. So the agent is, interact with their own replicators. These are individual and organization and government, and so on. It might be community too. The institution is defined as an external rule shared by a relatively large number of interpreters. Not 100% people, so maybe 5%, even 1% of the whole population can share some rules, so it might be called institution, even though it's minor institution. So I say community currencies, local currencies, very, very minor, I think. It's less than 1%, I suppose. Even that is real, but I want to say the community currency is also institution because maybe 100 members share that rules, or 10,000 people share that rule. Okay, so institution has two kinds, the outer institution and inner institutions. Law, custom, and rule of the game regarding money, accounting, companies, and so on. So the shareholders' rules, they want to have lots of dividend, they are very greedy. That kind of things are constrained by this kind of outer institution. Inner institution, it's a shared ethical cause and value consciousness and so on. That's what I have. That's what I have. So the inner constitution, maybe the people here have the very similar inner constitution because we'd like to, ecological conscious. We'd like to just have a just exchange and so on. But if you go to the market, the people has different, inner institutions and so on. Okay, this is a figure, but I skipped. This is a kind of a multi-layered nested structures. I say Interactor J, so it's a company, maybe Toyota company, and the member of the company, Toyota company, have the same kind of replicator J. So it's a moral of a Toyota company and so on. But Toyota has many, companies in China, in the US, in Japan too. The people have different cultures. So inner institution different. But once they share the Toyota's moral and discipline and the philosophies, so it's going to be organizations. So if you don't follow that, replication J, you have to be kicked out or you have to get out. So the membership should be defined by this kind of replicator. So this is Toyota, and that is other automobile Nissan. Okay, by the way, I haven't seen so many Japanese cars, automobile here. There are many European cars, German cars, but not so many Japanese cars. Okay, but anyway. So this is a micro, meso, macro, double loop. This is a kind of a model, but not so much formal model. We don't use mathematics, but we use the agent simulations. We use the agent simulations. So this has three levels. Micro level, macro level, but we have the meso level in between. This is a characteristic aspect of it. So micro level, has a micro, and macro has a loop. And in the meso level, outer institution and inner institution has a loop too. So I call it the double loop. Loop means, tend to be stable in the usual situation. But once it has a big enough fluctuation to extend that threshold, it's going to be destabilizing or fluctuate and clash, and so on. Okay, let me explain about the evolutionary policy. Policy. Usually, economic policy is here, conventional macroeconomic policy. Why? We have two dimensions. The horizontal line is outer institution is unchanged, changed. And in the horizontal line, inner institution, our consciousness, our value, our ethical, moral, unchanged or changed. So we have four. Usually, outer institution and inner institution are both unchanged. So conventional macro theory is fiscal policy or financial policy. Financial policy, central bank provide a lot of money, lower the interest rate. As to the public finance policy, financial policy, government spends a lot to construct a building, construct a bridge, highway, and so on. So public spending. In that case, the institution the same. But in case of number two, consciousness redeem policy, what I'm talking about is, say, SDGs. So once we have the goal, so we have to change. We have to change our consciousness. We have to change our behavior. So even the outer institution, say we have the same money, so we have the same company rule, but it's going to be changed. So conscious reform policy. Also, if we save the electricity, so energetic saving consciousness. And also, we have a mechanism design. So it's okay, but this is, institutional design for conventional economists. Conventional economists. They want to mechanism design. Okay, I skipped the explanation. Number four, media design. This is what we see suitable for local currency and community currency, because we introduce the new institution called local currency or community currency. But if we have the same mindset, it doesn't affect, it doesn't work. But if we change our consciousness, it works. So both sides, outer institution, inner institution, should be changed so that the institution, the new institution, like the community currency, it can work. Okay. Then this is a institutional design. This is a nested structure of media design. I just explained, and another one is community dog. Even though we design and apply the new monetary system, it doesn't work. So we have to see what's going on in the community. So it's a community dog. It's observation, and then try to persuade the members to reflect themselves and observe what you're doing. And then they might change their behavior. And then the system works. If the system doesn't work, we have to think about the system itself. So it's a kind of a loop. Okay. How much? Yeah. Okay. Okay, I don't know how many time. Yeah. Okay, so I have a CC explanation. It's, I said, integrative communication media with dual aspect, money and language. And there are two aspects, money aspect and language aspect. And also there are two kind of, community currency, REITs, and other one, time dollars and time banks. But here, I would like to explain about the REITs only. Other one, I cannot explain today. But just because, we don't have much time. I don't know how much. Huh? 2 minutes? Okay. Let me explain here. Okay. REIT is local exchange trading systems. It uses a passbook or digital account. And one national currency is one social currency with no compatibility, founded in 1983 by Michael Renton. Its property is reciprocal exchange or mutual credit systems. So the software, famous software is Cyclos, more than 3,500 and time banks use, this Cyclos for communities. That's the social trade organization, Soro, provided it. Okay, let me explain the case of the transaction on REITs. We have 3 members, Bob, Cassie. So REITs is a simple but very profound CC in which all participants start from account 0 and record sales as supply and purchase as a deficit. Now, okay, I can't really see. Okay, provide homegrown veggie as $5, and then Bob paid green dollars, not $5, green dollars. These green dollars cannot be comparable with the green dollars. And their balance is 5 plus 5 for and minus 5 for Bob. What? Something very, okay, maybe I should, but anyway. Completely bad. Yeah, it's okay. But anyway, the balance, the conclusion is important. The balance, they have a -3, 5, and -2 after the 3 transactions. And the zero-sum principle hold. So the total account balance of all participants is always 0 after every transaction and after member increase. So this is, I think, this broker exchange, and we call it pay forward principle. The movie Paid Forward, the social study class teachers think of an idea to change the world and put it into action. And the student, this boy, replied, I help 3 people, and if each of them helps other 3 people, then the world will change to a better way. Okay, yes, he tried it to put it in action. But in this movies, it's gonna make it. So it's not so easy. But anyway, I think this is not the payback principle, the pay forward principle. Okay, so if this gonna be successful, this create the chain reacting flow of gift and goodwill, and finally making circulation. Okay, so I just wanted to explain the difference between the two, payback and pay forward. But REITs is a way to successfully realize the payback. No, pay forward principle by recording value unit expressing quantitatively as a positive or negative. So I don't have two minutes maybe, so I have to finish. We have a vector pricing simultaneously expressing in rates and legal tender. When we observe the transaction rates, it's very interesting because they pay the legal tender and always at the same time they pay the rates. So when you buy, say, 10, if you buy a lunch set $10 and you pay the $10, but if you are RETS users, you pay $4 and $6 green dollars. So you pay the two monies. So the RETS receipt rate is 60%. So this is gonna be different depending on the, depending on the kinds of shops. Grocery and the supermarket have a lower, the RETS receipt rate. But, imported green coffee beans roasted in-house, they're gonna take 50% and so on. The shops can, autonomously determine the RETS receipt rate. So this is gonna be a kind of a vector prices such as X dollars plus Y green dollars and so on. So I think this is similar to the pricing at good for trust. Good for trust because they pay a legal tender and get points, and on the second time they pay the legal tender plus points. So I think there is a similarity. That's why I bring this example. But this is somewhat different to the system of the good for trust because shop can decide how much they can take the RETS in this case. Okay, maybe this is gonna be the end of my talk. And then, so I cannot really explain about the future, but it's going to be okay. This is a monetary institution ecosystem with multi-RET. So RET portfolio expresses the value and individuality. If individuals simultaneously join the many RETs, so multiple belonging of the individual to many communities. So this is going to be aiming at to combine individual freedom with a close mutual nature, communal nature of the community, so the two people trading on common RETs and so on. So if local currency are open and interlinked, so one or the other will be absorbed and decline, but the multiple CC on the community of interest. So if we talk about the community, we have two kinds. One is a geographical, local community in a village, but on the other hand, we have a community of interest. So let's forest to foster the forest. Let's Istanbul, this is geographical. But on the other hand, children let's, and if you have a baby, and let's distribute the power generation to electric, generation. So we have 4 RETs here, but one is geographical, other one is community interest. So we have these at the same time, and we can belong to many RETs at the same time. So say A belong to Let's Istanbul and Children Let's, and D belong to 3 Let's Forest, Children Let's, and the Let's Distributed Power Generation. So A and D can have the exchange on children RETs only. That's what I'm seeing here. So the monetary institution ecosystem with overlapping multi-RET is possible. Okay, so yeah, I have more slides, but I'm sorry I cannot finish my presentation. But actually, it's out of order, but it's okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Nishibe. I'm sorry we've exceeded our time, so I had to interrupt.
No, I cannot speak fast. I'm sorry.
The next panel in room A will be about local currencies, so if you're interested, you may continue listening to this presentation in cinema room A. And in here, we will continue with Melanie Reback and her speech on post-growth entrepreneurship. We have a little coffee break after the speech until Melanie's speech. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.